Ladies and gentlemen, you can't hit a target. You can't see. Most people walk around with big ideas floating in their minds, but they never slow down to actually define what they want. Writing it down forces you to look at it, forces you to describe it, and forces you to face it. That simple act brings clarity. When you write your dream on paper, you are taking it out of the cloud of someday and putting it into the reality of today. It becomes something you can see, touch, and revisit. That's how clarity is born, through definition. Think about it. When you go to a restaurant, you don't just say, "Bring me some food." You look at a menu, you pick what you want, and you order it. Writing your dream is placing your order with life. Clarity gives you peace. It gives you direction. It gives you the confidence to say, this is where I'm going, and this is how I'm getting there. Too many people are frustrated not because they are failing, but because they don't even know what they are aiming for without clarity. You are busy but not productive, moving but not progressing. When you write it down, you strip away the confusion. You separate what you actually want from what others think you should want. That paper becomes a mirror of your true self. And once you are clear, you stop wasting time chasing things that don't matter because your energy starts lining up with the future you wrote down. Everybody dreams, but dreaming and doing are not the same thing. A vision without movement is just a fantasy. And a fantasy doesn't feed your family, doesn't change your situation, and doesn't move your life forward. Writing it down is the first step, but acting on it is what separates dreamers from achievers. You can have the most powerful vision in the world, but if you don't get up and do something about it, it will stay stuck in your notebook forever. Action breathes life into your vision. The moment you take a step toward what you wrote, you turn words into progress. That progress gives you energy. That energy builds momentum, and momentum changes everything. Imagination is cheap. You can sit on a couch and imagine all day. But when you attach discipline and effort to your vision, you now have a recipe for transformation. People say, "I want to be successful." Great. But success doesn't come to the ones who wait. It comes to the ones who move. A vision demands movement. Otherwise, it shrivels up into regret. The world doesn't reward potential. It rewards execution. You have got to take the vision off the paper and walk it out in real life. When you combine your vision with consistent action, that's when doors start opening, resources begin to flow, and opportunities start aligning with you where you are. Every house you see started with a drawing. No builder just shows up with bricks and says, "Let's see what happened." They have a blueprint. Your vision is that blueprint for your future. When you write it down, you give yourself a plan. It may not be perfect. It may not have every detail figured out, but at least you have got a map. Without that, you are just building blindly, hoping it works out. A blueprint saves you from wasted energy. It shows you where to start, what to avoid, and what the foundation needs to look like. Your future works the same way. Too many people are trying to build a life with no plan. They are stacking bricks of time, effort, and money with no direction. That's why it collapses. A blueprint keeps you steady. The blueprint doesn't stop storms from coming, but it keeps your house from falling when the rain hits. Your vision written down is what holds you together when life tries to tear you apart. And here's the truth. You don't have to know every step before you start. Builders are just the blueprint along the way, but they never start without one. When you create a blueprint with your vision, you have got something to measure against, something to fight for, and something to keep you aligned when distractions show up. Dreams are like seeds. You plant them deep inside your heart, but if you never water them, they wither away. Silence is the drought that kills more dreams than failure ever could. You can have the most powerful vision inside you, but if you keep it locked up, if you never give it air, it dies in the dark. Writing it down is how you give it oxygen, how you bring it out of hiding, how you let it breathe. When you put your dream on paper, you are saying, "This matters." You are telling yourself in the universe that what's inside you is worth being seen. That piece of paper becomes a safe place for your dream to live. It's no longer just floating in your head, where doubt, fear, and distraction can erase it. It's sitting in front of you, written, real, undeniable. Think about how many dreams never made it to reality. Not because they were impossible, but because someone never spoke them, never shared them, never wrote them down. People take their visions to the grave every single day because they were too afraid to give them a voice. Silence suffocates destiny. Paper revives. Writing your dream doesn't require applause, approval, or permission. The paper doesn't laugh at you, doesn't question you, doesn't tell you that you are dreaming too big. It simply receives what you have to give. That act alone gives your dream more power than silence ever could. Once it's written, it can't just vanish. It exists, it's captured, it's preserved. When you write your dream, you build a kind of accountability with yourself. You can't pretend it was never there. You can't just brush it off. You will look at it again and again. And every time you do, you will feel that tug in your spirit, reminding you what you said you wanted. That constant reminder keeps your dream alive. Even when life tries to bury it, silence is comfortable, but it's deadly. People stay silent. It feels safe because nobody can laugh at what they have never heard. After all, nobody can criticize what they don't know about. But in that silence, dreams rot. Giving your dream a voice feels risky, but it's the only way it grows legs, the only way it gains strength, the only way it has a chance to see the light of day. When you dare to write it down, you give your dream presence. You take it from invisible to visible, from intangible to tangible. You hand it a voice that will echo every time you read it, every time you repeat it, every time you take a step in its direction. And that voice will not let your dream die quietly in the shadows. When you write your vision, you are not just scribbling words. You are signing an agreement with your future. That paper becomes a contract, and the terms are simple. If you stay committed, if you keep showing up, if you refuse to quit, your destiny will meet you halfway. People think contracts only belong in business, but your vision is the most important contract you will ever sign, because it's between you and the life you are meant to live. A contract means responsibility. When you put it in writing, you are holding yourself accountable. You are saying, this is what I promise myself. This is what I'm working toward. This is what I will not back down from. Too many people make promises out loud that disappear as soon as life gets tough. But a written vision keeps you tied to what you declared. It won't let you walk away so easily. Think about how powerful it feels when you sign a legal contract. You know it matters. You know it carries weight. You know you can't just ignore it. That's exactly how your vision should feel once it's written. You can't act like it doesn't exist anymore. It's there staring at you, reminding you that your destiny is waiting on your commitment. Destiny doesn't honor casual wishes. It honors contracts. You can daydream all day long about being successful, about being happy, about living free. But until you put that vision in writing, it's just talk. The moment you write it down, you set a standard. You are saying, this is not a maybe. This is not a nice to have. This is non-negotiable. And that contract will test you. Every contract comes with terms and conditions, and your vision is no different. The terms might include sacrifice, discipline, patience, and persistence. The conditions might include pain, rejection, or failure along the way. But once you signed with your vision, you agreed to push through all of it, because destiny only releases the reward to those who honor their side of the deal. What's powerful is that your vision contract doesn't expire. It's waiting on you to fulfill it. No matter how long it takes, you can walk away. You can delay it. You can even run from it. But as long as that vision is written, it will still be calling you back, reminding you of the agreement you made with your future. The question is not whether destiny will hold up its end. It always does. The question is whether you will honor your side of the contract, whether you will stay faithful to what you wrote, and whether you will pay the price that comes with the promise you put on that paper. Motivation is like a spark. It feels good, it lights you up, but it doesn't last forever. You can't depend on being motivated every single day, because life will test you, distractions will tempt you, and some mornings you just won't feel like it. That's where a written vision steps in. When motivation dies out, your vision is what keeps you moving. It reminds you why you started in the first place. When you see your vision written on paper, it reignites your commitment. Even when the excitement is gone, that vision becomes the fuel tone. Pat powers your consistency. It tells you this is bigger than how you feel right now. This is about where you are going, And when you really want what you wrote down, you will keep pushing even on the days you feel empty. Consistency isn't about doing it when you feel good. It's about showing up when you don't. The gym feels different when you are tired, but the vision of being healthy pushes you through. The business feels heavy when money is tight, but the vision of freedom keeps you working. The dream feels distant when failure shows up, but the vision written down whispers, keep going. People who rely on motivation quit when it disappears. People who rely on vision keep moving regardless. That's why writing it down matters. It's a permanent reminder of your purpose, while motivation is temporary. Motivation fades in hours, but vision lasts for years, even decades, if you commit to it. When you look at what you wrote, it forces you to push past the mood you are in. Feelings change too quickly to trust them, but the vision doesn't change. That paper doesn't bend to your emotion. It sits there like a contract staring back at you, daring you to either keep your word or walk away from yourself. And the truth is, consistency is what builds results, not motivation. The body changes from consistent workouts, not the one day you felt hype. The business grows from consistent effort, not the one week you were on fire. The dream becomes reality from consistency, not from the excitement you felt in the beginning. That's why your written vision is priceless. It keeps you locked in when motivation runs out. It fuels discipline when you are tired, and it carries you forward when your feelings can't. Goals in your head are invisible. They float around like clouds. You think about them, hope for them, dream about them, but they remain untouchable, uncertain, and easily forgotten. That's why writing is so powerful. When you put your goals on paper, you give them form. You make them tangible. You take them from being mythical ideas to measurable targets that you can actually reach. Writing forces specifics. Saying I want to be successful is vague. Writing I will earn X amount, reach X clients, complete X projects by X date, transforms your dream into something trackable. Suddenly you know exactly what you are aiming for, and the path to get there starts becoming clear. The goal stops being a fantasy and becomes a reality you can plan around. When goals are measurable, you can track progress. You can see how far you have come and how far you still need to go. You can celebrate small victories along the way, which keeps you motivated even when the journey is long. Mythical goals, on the other hand, give no feedback. They only breed frustration because you never know if you are winning or losing. Writing your goals creates standards. It tells you what counts and what doesn't. Every action you take can be measured against your written target. If it moves you closer, it stays. If it doesn't, you adjust. Without writing, people wander, confusing busyness with progress, mistaking motion for achievement. A written goal also becomes a mirror of your commitment. You can't just think it into existence. You have to define it, record it, and review it. The paper demands accountability. It asks, are you serious about this, or are you just dreaming again? And it's honest because numbers, dates, and clear steps don't lie. Goals become measurable when written, and measurable goals become actionable. Action is impossible without clarity. You can't hit a target that doesn't exist. You can't reach a mountain you have only imagined. But once it's written, it's there, solid, undeniable, and ready for you to climb. And the power is in revisiting it. You can adjust, refine, and expand as you grow. But the written record keeps you grounded. It reminds you that this is not just a dream floating in your imagination. It is a plan, a purpose, and a goal that you can track, attack, and achieve. Vision is the spark that lights the fire inside you. Without it, you drift, you wander, you settle for whatever life throws at you. But when you have a clear vision written down, something shifts. Suddenly you see the bigger picture, you know where you are going, and that awareness starts to shape your daily choices. Vision gives you a reason to say no to distractions, no to shortcuts, and no to excuses. Discipline doesn't come naturally for most people. It's hard, it's uncomfortable, and it's often lonely. But when your vision is vivid and personal, discipline becomes a tool rather than a punishment. You begin to do what's necessary, not because you feel like it,
but because you see the value in moving closer to your written vision every single day. Every choice you make becomes intentional. When discipline is guided by vision, you start prioritizing actions that feed your purpose and ignoring those that waste your time. Eating right, exercising, learning, working hard, and showing up. These become non-negotiables because your vision demands consistency, and consistency requires discipline. Discipline multiplies your efforts. Small, consistent actions done daily stack up over time into significant results. Vision is what keeps you on track when motivation fades. Discipline is what carries you when life feels heavy. When challenges appear, when fear whispers that it's easier to quit. Without vision, discipline becomes mechanical. With vision, discipline becomes perps don't come by chance. They come from repetitive action, aligned with a clear goal. The vision gives you the roadmap, and discipline makes sure you follow it. Every milestone, every small win, every sign of progress is a product of your ability to stay disciplined under the guidance of your vision. Discipline also builds confidence. The more you honor your vision through disciplined effort, the more you trust yourself. You realize that you can withstand difficulty, push past resistance, and consistently perform at a high level. That trust fuels even more discipline, creating a cycle that continuously elevates you. And the beautiful truth is that results aren't just external. They transform your mindset, your habits, your character, and your environment. Vision sparks discipline. Discipline shapes behavior, and behavior produces results that keep the vision alive, growing, and unstoppable. Confidence doesn't come from luck, talent, or charm. It comes from knowing where you are going. When your life feels like a ship lost at sea, it's easy to doubt yourself, question your choices, and feel powerless. But a written vision acts like a compass. It points the way, giving you a sense of direction that naturally fuels confidence, because you know exactly where you are headed. When you see your goals clearly mapped out, you stop second-guessing yourself. You stop wondering if you are doing the right thing. Every decision starts to align with your vision, and that alignment reinforces your belief in your own abilities. Confidence grows not because the journey is easy, but because you know the path and you are committed to walking it. A clear vision removes confusion, and confusion is the enemy of confidence. Without direction, even small setbacks feel catastrophic. But when your vision is written, setbacks become temporary. They are just obstacles on a defined road. That persive gives you the courage to face challenges head-on, because you are not wandering blindly. You are moving toward a specific destination. Confidence also comes from preparation, and a vision is preparation in its purest form. When you plan, strategize, and outline your goals, you equip yourself with the tools to handle whatever comes your way. A person with vision doesn't rely on luck. They rely on clarity, preparation, and intentional steps that build self-assurance with every action. When your vision is strong, it also protects you from doubt and criticism. People will always question, undermine, or discourage you, but confidence rooted in a clear vision is unshakable. You know why you are doing what you are doing, and that knowledge allows you to move forward with certainty, even when others try to pull you off course. Seeing direction in your vision turns every small victory into a boost of self-belief. Every completed step, every milestone reached, reinforces that you are capable of achieving what you set out to do. That momentum compounds, feeding both your confidence and your determination to keep moving forward. Confidence is contagious. When others see you moving with purpose, clarity, and certainty, they respond to your energy. Vision gives you that magnetism because it shows that you are not just drifting. You are leading your own life, making deliberate choices, and moving steadily towards something meaningful. When you write your vision, you are making a promise to yourself. That piece of paper becomes a contract, a mirror, and a reminder, all at once. You can't hide from it. You can't pretend it doesn't exist. Every time you see it, you are confronted with your own commitment. And that confrontation is what builds accountability. Accountability isn't about someone else watching you. It's about holding yourself responsible. Too many people blame circumstances, others, or luck when things don't work out. But when your vision is written, it reminds you that your results are tied to your own choices. You can't escape the truth. Your actions, or lack thereof, directly affect your progress. Writing creates clarity, and clarity is the foundation of accountability. When you know exactly what you are aiming for, you know exactly what you need to do. That clarity removes excuses. You can't say, I didn't know what to do, because it's all right there on the page. Your vision becomes a personal benchmark, and every step is measured against. Seeing your vision daily forces reflection. It makes you ask yourself, did I do what I said I would do today? That question repeated consistently trains your mind to take responsibility. Over time, accountability becomes a habit. You stop making excuses and start making results, because your vision keeps you honest with yourself. Writing down your vision also helps you track progress. Each milestone achieved or step completed becomes proof that you are honoring your commitment. And every missed step is a reminder that you need to get back on track. The written record doesn't lie, it reflects exactly where you stand. And that reflection builds discipline and responsibility. Accountability to yourself builds self-respect. When you follow through on what you wrote, you reinforce the belief that you can trust yourself. That trust fuels confidence and strengthens your resolve. You begin to realize that you are capable of more than you thought, simply because you are willing to answer to the vision you create. And the real power of accountability is that it keeps the vision alive when no one else is watching. When motivation fades, your written vision keeps you moving. It whispers to you, reminds you of your promise, and compels you to take action. Because nothing can replace the personal responsibility you feel when you have put your goals in writing. Dreams are powerful, but they are fragile when left in your mind alone. The bigger your dream, the more doubt it will attract. People will question you. Circumstances will challenge you, and your own mind will sometimes betray you. That's the danger of a dream that exists only in your head. It's easy for fear and uncertainty to creep in and take over. A written vision, however, is a shield against. When you put your dream on paper, you create clarity, structure, and a roadmap. That clarity transforms uncertainty into purpose. Your vision becomes something tangible that you can see, revisit, and believe in. And that belief grows stronger every time you reaffirm it. Doubt is relentless. It whispers, you are not ready, it's too late, you don't have what it takes. Dreams alone are vulnerable to those whispers, but vision is louder than doubt. It gives you a voice to respond, a reminder that you have already committed to something bigger than fear, and that faith is stronger than hesitation. Faith begins with action. When you write your vision, you are taking a step that proves you believe in yourself. The act of writing is a declaration. I'm not just hoping, I'm doing. I'm not just dreaming, I'm planning. That commitment fuels confidence, courage, and trust in the process, even when the path is unclear. Vision aligns your actions with your beliefs. Every day, every step you take toward your written vision reinforces that faith. It's no longer about blind hope. It's about moving consistently towards something you can see, something you have defined, and something you are willing to fight for. That is what turns doubt into determination. When doubt appears, it will always be present. Life will always throw obstacles, skeptics, and challenges your way. But vision creates a perspective that doubt cannot destroy. Faith born from vision reminds you that temporary setbacks are just part of the journey, and they cannot stop the destiny you have already committed to on paper. And the beauty of vision is that it attracts more than just personal faith. It attracts resources, people, and opportunities. The clearer your vision, the stronger your faith, the more the universe aligns with your purpose. While dreams may fade under the pressure of doubt, a written vision grows stronger, guiding you forward and keeping you unstoppable. Struggle is a part of life. It doesn't ask for permission, and it doesn't care who you are. Everyone faces obstacles, setbacks, and pain. But struggle without purpose is heavy, exhausting, and discouraging. It feels like suffering without reward. That's why your vision is so crucial. When you have a clear vision, every struggle takes on meaning, because you understand what it's building toward. Life will test you constantly, but a vision turns those tests into lessons. Instead of seeing challenges as random, meaningless events, you begin to see them as opportunities to grow, to adapt, and to get stronger. The struggle becomes part of the story, not the story itself. Your vision gives it context. It tells you that this difficulty is temporary, and it serves a purpose in shaping your future. When you know what you are aiming for, even pain has direction. Without vision, pain feels like punishment. With vision, pain feels like preparation. Every obstacle, every disappointment, every failure becomes part of the journey that strengthens your skills, builds resilience, and teaches lessons that comfort can never provide. Struggle tests your commitment, and a vision fuels that commit. When life gets hard, the vision reminds you why you started, why you pushed past fear, and why quitting is not an option. It gives you a reason to endure, to fight, and to persist when your energy wants to give up. That sense of purpose transforms suffering into action. People without vision often quit at the first sign of difficulty. They see struggle as a signal to stop, but vision allows you to reframe struggle as fuel. The harder the challenge, the more it sharpens you, the more it prepares you for the reward that awaits. Your vision turns resistance into motivation and difficulty into a stepping stone. When you have a written vision, struggle becomes measurable. You can see how far you have come, what you have overcome, and what you have learned along the way. That perspective gives hope, energy, and courage to continue because every hardship is evidence that progress is happening, even if the result hasn't arrived yet. Struggle without vision is draining, but struggle with vision is transformative. It molds character, strengthens faith, and deepens determination. Every battle, every challenge, every moment of doubt becomes a necessary piece of the journey toward the life you have committed to building on paper. Someday is a dangerous word. It gives the illusion of hope, but it never forces action. People say, someday I'll start, someday I'll change, someday I'll chase my dream, and then years go by without progress. A written dream destroys someday because it transforms vague intention into a concrete plan that demands action. When you write down your dream, you assign it a home, a purpose, and a timeline. It moves from an idea floating in your imagination to something you can work on step by step. Suddenly, what once felt intangible starts to feel real. That paper becomes your roadmap, your blueprint, and your commitment, guiding every choice you make. A written plan forces specificity. You can no longer hide behind general statements like, I want to be successful. Writing it down asks, what exactly does success look like? How will you get there? When will you start? Those answers create structure and give your dream the power to shape your daily actions. Once your dream is written, procrastination loses its grip. Someday thrives in the mind, but it dies on paper. You can't ignore what you have committed to seeing. Every day becomes an opportunity to move closer, every step measurable, and every decision aligned with the path you have drawn. Writing your dream also builds momentum. When you can see your vision, it inspires you to take action immediately. You start breaking the plan into smaller tasks, ticking off milestones, and feeling the energy of progress. That energy replaces the idle waiting that someday encourages. A written plan gives accountability. You can track your progress, adjust strategies, and measure results. Unlike vague dreams, which disappear when challenges arise, a written plan provides a reference point that keeps you honest, focused, and moving steadily toward what you said you wanted. And the magic of writing is that it turns a distant hope into a series of actionable steps. Each task completed, each goal reached, each small victory takes what was once someday and transforms it into a real living journey toward the life you have committed to achieving. Life is full of noise, notifications, social media, other people's agendas, and endless responsibilities can pull you in every direction. Without a clear vision, it's easy to let all of that consume your time. You wake up busy, but at the end of the day, you realize you have accomplished nothing meaningful. Distractions take over, and they become your default way of living. When you have no vision, your decisions are reactive instead of intentional. You respond to every text, email, or demand without asking whether it serves your purpose. You drift from one activity to the next, mistaking motion for progress. That's why people often feel exhausted, yet unfulfilled. They have been running all day, but running in circles. Vision acts like a filter. When you know what you want and why you want it, you can quickly determine what deserves your time and what doesn't. Suddenly, distractions lose their power because they no longer align with the path you are committed to walking. Without that filter, your energy is scattered, and your life becomes a collection of unfinished projects. Distractions are seductive because they are easy. They offer comfort, entertainment, and temporary escape from effort, but they rarely bring growth. Without vision, these seductive, comfortable choices dominate your life, and before you know it, years have passed, while your true potential remains untouched. Vision creates focus. It gives your mind a target, and your actions a purpose. With a clear destination, you start saying no to what doesn't matter, and yes to what moves you forward. You stop letting small unimportant things hijack your day, and start investing your energy in what actually produces. Without vision, time becomes an enemy, because it slips through your fingers, unnoticed. Every distraction eats away at the life you could have built, if you had a clear goal. Vision, on the other hand, turns time into your ally. It organizes your day priorities and effort so that even small actions contribute to a bigger outcome. And the real danger is that distractions don't feel harmful in the moment. They feel like relief. But without vision, relief becomes routine.